Hey everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing the Pilot Delful mechanical pencil. This pencil I got in a really attractive neon green and jet black. It's a very nice color scheme. I'm a big fan of green, and this was the version of the green in the pencil that I really like, the combination of colors. It comes in a wide variety of colors. Mine is in 0.5 millimeter, and it has some really interesting features, and so let's go ahead and dive right in and see what some of those features are. Well, you'll notice here that it has a conical lead sleeve, and unlike most lead sleeves of this nature, which is retractable, most retractable lead sleeves are hypodermic, like a drafting pencil, but in this case, the lead sleeve is conical, and it has a spring-loaded mechanism so that you press once to extend it, and then if you press down hard, it will retract back into the pencil. It's also a shaker pencil, so as you shake it, it will extend lead. And I was just perusing Amazon and looking for an interesting pencil to potentially review, and I think that I got this one for $8 with free shipping, and so it seemed like a really good deal. And so I went ahead and dove right in and got it. Now, moving up the pencil from the lead sleeve, you can see that we have a hard rubberized grip. I'm actually kind of a fan of the hard rubberized grips. I don't necessarily like them to be textured. I'm not really a fan of a thick grip, and this has a thicker grip, but some people really might like the thick grips. If you're a fan of the Pilot Dr. Grip, for example, that would be one that you might want to check this out for that reason. It's got a pretty sturdy pocket clip for one that is plastic. The eraser at the end is pretty much a Pilot drafting eraser, so that's pretty basic for a pencil at the entry level, at the cheap level here. So how does it rate? You know, what's going on here? Well, some interesting things. I've been writing with the Pilot Delful now for a couple weeks because I wanted to make sure that when I do my reviews, I spend some time actually writing with the pencil to get a pretty good pulse of it. And the Pilot Delful is interesting in that it has a couple of things about it that bother me. Chief amongst them is that I don't know about the construction of the lead sleeve. It seems really, really strong construction, and that can be both a benefit and a problem. And so with the Pilot Delful, especially, when I've been writing with it, I've noticed that it is prone to lead breakage. And obviously, the more lead that you extend out a mechanical pencil, the more likely you're going to get lead breakage. But I found, oh, there we go, see? I found that with this pencil that it's really sensitive to too much lead being pushed out at one time and is therefore subject to lead breakage. And I didn't find any difference. I tested it out with the lead that actually came with it, and then I've also tested it out with Pentel High Polymer. I don't have Pentel Einstein in 0.5 millimeter, so I wasn't able to test it out with that or with Uni Nanodia at all, which many would be considered some of the toughest lead out there. But the lead breakage issue still persisted when I did that. And so that's something that I've experienced with the pencil, if that's something that is of interest to you and of a concern to you. The mechanism is pretty sensitive to pressure on the push button. And so if you're used to pressing down on the plunger to extend lead on a mechanical pencil, this is an example of one where if you press down too hard when you're trying to extend the lead, you're just going to retract the mechanism. And so it's good that it's got the shaker feature because this is one of the few pencils where I found that I prefer to use the shaking method to extend the lead. But if you're used to having to press the top button like I am, you can run into problems with retracting the lead sleeve back up into the body of the pencil when you don't intend it to. And so let's go ahead and run down the features on my rating scale so we can figure out where we're going to place the Delful compared to my other mechanical pencils. So we'll start off with writing experience. You know, the grip is a little too thick for my tastes. I'm going to give the writing experience an OK+. There's that lead breakage issue, which makes it really, really annoying. If you're not used to using a shaker feature, the pressing the plunger too hard can cause the lead sleeve to retract back in. And so it's really nothing to write home about. In fact, I was a little disappointed based upon how cool it looks and what the features are for it. For quality, pretty solid. I give it a good. It is a plastic pencil with a rubberized grip. But in terms of durability, it feels really, really solid. The pocket clip seems solid, and so I rated it a good for quality. For features, I'm going to give it a good plus because it really does have a lot going for it. What are the features? Well, of course, we have the retractable lead sleeve, which is always useful to keep it pocket safe. We have the shaker feature. We have a pretty sturdy pocket clip, especially, normally I wouldn't mention a sturdy pocket clip as being a feature, but for a pencil of this quality, you know, it's not going to go anywhere, and I don't think it's not going to break either. And then for price, it falls into the cheap category at about $8 or so USD on Amazon, I think is what I got. And so, you know, it's a pretty solid entry. Other than the retraction mechanism having a little bit of a problem, with what I've rated it on my 4 dimensions of rating, you know, I don't really see it making it the top 10, which the last video that I did was my top 10 video for a series of top 10 pencils that I find will really probably stand the test of time. So check that out if you're interested in my top 10. I don't see this making the top 10. I also don't even see it making an honorable mention. There are just a lot of really great pencils out there. So, you know, consider those factors when you're thinking about getting the Pilot Delful. I was expecting it to be a little bit sexier than it actually was in terms of its features. But that's my rundown on it in case you're curious. Now, coming up on the channel here, I'm going to be trying to do some things that I haven't considered doing before, which is to review some click erasers. And maybe just erasers in general. Haven't quite decided on that. I'm also thinking about reviewing lead on someone's suggestion. And so I've been starting to cobble together collections of lead that I have in my little pencil case that I could compare. I want to make sure that I won't review, of course, Pentel High Polymer, but also Pentel Einstein. And I'm also thinking about reviewing Gorilla Lead that's made by Right Dudes, maybe the Uni Nanodiya, I should say. And so, yeah, those sort of like pencil kit videos are things that I want to do sometime in the near future. And then I still have a couple of pencils that I want to review that I haven't gotten a chance to review, like the Pentel Icy, the Pentel Sharplet 2, the original Pentel twist erase, the basic twist erase. And so I have a couple of pencils coming up down the line as well, and so stay tuned for those. So that's my take on the Pilot Delful. Good, but not great. Has a couple of issues, but overall a pretty solid writing instrument, and so check it out. Thanks for watching.